Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, British woman allegedly found with a coke strapped to her body at NMIA. A British woman has been charged by the narcotics police following the seizure of half a pound of cocaine at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Friday, May 24. The woman has been identified as 43-year-old Tonette Carew of Flaming Road in Essex, England. She has been charged with the offences of possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, taking steps preparatory to export cocaine, and a conspiracy to export cocaine. Reports are that Carew was being screened at the security search area at the airport when anomalies were detected. She was subjected to a further search, during which a cylindrical parcel wrapped in clear plastic and a grey masking tape was reportedly found concealed on her body. The parcel was cut open in her presence and was found to contain cocaine weighing approximately half a pound. She was subsequently arrested and charged with the offences. She is to appear in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday, May 30. St. Andrew vendor charged over attempted robbery. The police have charged a 34-year-old Arnett Gardens St. Andrew man for injuring a woman during an attempted robbery and the stabbing of a man who intervened. Andre Robinson, a vendor of Water Street, is charged with assault with intent to rob, unlawful wounding, and wounding with intent. He is scheduled to go before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday, June 10. Reports from the Central Police are that between 3 p.m. and 3:40 p.m. on Sunday, April 28, Robinson approached a woman who was walking along West Parade in the vicinity of Queen Street with her phone in her hand. He then grabbed her hand, demanding her cell phone. The complainant did not comply. A tussle ensued, and Robinson used a knife to stab her hand, causing a wound that bled, according to the police. The police reported that a man saw what was happening and intervened, during which Robinson used the said knife to stab him to the chest. The incident was reported to the police. Both complainants were assisted to hospital where they were treated and released. On Monday, May 6, following investigations, Robinson was arrested on Friday, May 24. He was charged after he was positively identified and a question and answer session in the presence of his lawyer. Holness pledges commitment to achieving consensus on constitutional reform. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said that he is committed to achieving an agreement between the government and the opposition on reforming the Constitution. The opposition People's National Party has stated that it is not in support of several of the recommendations put forward by the Constitutional Reform Committee. Among the areas of divergence is removing the Privy Council as the country's final appellate court. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said on Friday that given the amount of work that has already gone into achieving the reform, it's important for both sides to be on the same page. He also urged the opposition not to allow the recommendation on dual citizenship to derail the process of constitutional reform. The Constitution in its current form allows for Commonwealth citizens to be elected to serve in Parliament, providing they meet the qualifying criteria. The issue has resulted in a political war of words as opposition leader Mark Golding, born in Jamaica, also has a British citizenship. However, the Constitutional Reform Committee has recommended that political representatives should have a single allegiance. The Prime Minister believes this matter should be properly examined to move the process of reform along.
I don't see this as a failure or an end to the process. I see this as part of the process. And my job is to make it possible to work towards consensus. So I've indicated to the minister with responsibility for constitutional reform, and when we met with representative members of the Constitutional Reform Committee, that we should continue to work towards consensus. It means opening the avenues of communication with the opposition. It means educating the people. The people need to be brought into the conversation a little bit more so that they understand what is happening.
Social media erupts Chuck's hint at a corporal punishment ban at home. A declaration by Justice Minister Delroy Chuck that the government has plans to outlaw corporal punishment in homes, building on the success of having banned it in schools island-wide, has generated much discussion across social media. We are against any form of punishment using a beating. It must not happen in the schools, but it must also not happen in the homes, Chuck insisted. However, some social media users are expressing concern about how such a ban on corporal punishment will be implemented and enforced in the home. Others maintain that banning corporal punishment is not the answer to curtailing violence in schools and other issues facing the youth. In making his case for the ban on corporal punishment in homes locally, Chugg, who was speaking at the Justice Ministry's Child Diversion Forum at the Spanish Court Hotel in New Kingston last week, said the government aims to create a cultural shift, encouraging parents to speak to their children in a strong language instead of resorting to physical punishment. This initiative aligns with the Geneva Convention on Rights of the Child, which celebrates its 35th anniversary this year, Chuck said. It is wrong. In other words, we must not use straps and whips and belts, especially belt buckles, to beat any child, Chuck declared. Every parent must learn to scold the child, and I dare say that corporal punishment rarely works, he added. The minister said parents must use alternative methods to discipline their children. The government intends to outlaw any form of corporal punishment, Chuck reiterated. Continuing, he said, "We have done so in the schools and we want to do it in the homes because it is wrong. It doesn't help the child, and as far as we are concerned, it's much better to speak, perhaps in a strong language, to the child rather than be slapping the child, pinching the child, twisting the child's ear, and using all sorts of punishment to get a behavior deemed appropriate by the parent," Chuck explained. He also used his address to encourage the children to honor their mothers and their fathers, but to tell them they mustn't hit you. Among the instances that have driven the authorities towards that position was the case of a mother viciously beating her 12-year-old daughter with a machete in St. Thomas some years ago, which was captured on video that went viral on social media. But some social media users were livid by the suggestions from Chuck to ban corporal punishment from households. "From them remove corporal punishment from schools, the pitney them get out of control," a woman wrote on Instagram. "I'm the one who provides for my child, and I've never gotten a book voucher nor part payment for any of my two sons, so the government cannot tell me how to discipline them. Do that to those who get government aid," another woman argued. Shared another, "So many real issues to address for protecting children, like making rape penalties severe, as the current ones are mediocre. And the people them are focused on banning the freedom to discipline children. You can't make this up." A male Instagrammer joined the debate, asking, "Whoa, what about promoting proper parenting, or parenting to begin with, instead of banning disciplinary actions? Sure, some people go overboard, but that's in everything, so bans aren't the solution. Promoting conflict resolution and listening, and conversational skills targeted towards parents are far better plans," he opined. On Facebook, however, some appeared to agree with Chuck's viewpoints, but still expressed their concerns. "I kinda agree and understand where Mr. Chuck is coming from, because in 2024, there should be no way a mother or a father should be slapping a child, or using a belt to slaughter a child, leaving injuries," a woman stated. Added the user, "At the same time, Mr. Chuck has to tell us some better alternatives to corporal punishment, because these kids are out of control. It better," Chuck had said, "do not be excessive when disciplining a child." Said a male Facebook user, "Me a go see which government a go tell me say me can't lick me pitney, when pitney make up them mind to rude and bad." A woman had a different perspective on the issue at hand. "I will never agree with the term corporal punishment as it relates to correcting a child and reinforcing positive behaviors. Discipline is as much the school's as well as the home's responsibility. I guess the behaviors that we are seeing now are as a result of the banning of corporal punishment," she reasoned. Meanwhile, a seemingly incensed woman wrote that, "Hope when them get out of control you have laugh for that, cause them not staying in my house. Thank God men are big and on their own." Added another, "If corporal punishment is removed from the homes, and no pitney go beat them parents, look at how they are behaving now, much less teachers having a hard time in the classrooms with these big men and women who are attending primary and secondary schools, and whatever implementations they put in place to address the bad behaviors not effective," she stated. Amid those views, a woman shared that corporal punishment is not an option at her home based on how her own parents carried out such disciplinary actions. I don't beat my children, but I take away their pleasures and entertainment when they are rude. I would never want my children to experience the beating I got from my mom and father when I committed simple infractions in the past, she commented.